Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Ms. Hudson is respectfully asking the court to impose a period of community control in this matter. Ms. Hudson has accepted responsibility for her conduct through her guilty plea. She's 41 years old, married, and has 4 kids. 3 of those 4 kids are currently residing with their father. Temporary emergency custody was granted as a result of this case. However, Ms. Hudson does have a juvenile court hearing set for early March to address that, the custody situation once this matter has been disposed of.
Where, over here?
Yes, that's correct.
Your Honor, Ms. Hudson previously suffered from a heroin addiction. It's something that she's been able to maintain sobriety from for 4.5 years. And as the court's aware, she has previously been charged with child endangering. 2 of those prior charges were a result of her heroin use, which is something that she has conquered and been able to keep at bay. However, as the court is aware, she does still struggle with periodic use of other substances. Upon her bond being reinstated in this matter, Your Honor, Ms. Hudson did obtain an alcohol and other drugs assessment through Sparrow Health. She indicated that she has continued to go to Sparrow Health weekly for drug screens and counseling. And if this court were to order that she complete intensive outpatient treatment, they do have that available as well. Ms. Hudson has 59 days of jail time credit in this matter, which gave her a significant amount of time to think about her conduct and how she ended up in this situation, as well as ways to avoid it happening again in the future. And Your Honor, Ms. Hudson is respectfully asking the court to grant community control without additional jail time so that she can tend to the parenting and custody matters.
All right. Ms. Hudson, what do you have to say?
This was a big eye-opening mistake. I've been sober from heroin for 4.5 years, and I guess I became a little complacent with that. So it was probably a good thing that I came in here testing positive, because I don't want there to be any way that I ever risk actually permanently losing my kids, because I care about them a lot, and I do try to put them first. I try to put them first all the time.
It seems like you spent time putting your drug use first.
I did. You're right about that. And this has been very eye-opening, sitting in jail for 57 or 59 days, whatever it was, and having no control over anything. The fact that they were able to go to their dad that never really saw them anyways before that, it really hit hard. And I don't want there to be any way that I permanently lose them, because I care about them a lot. I feel like I'm one of the only people that does.
So where are they now?
They are with him, but technically with his mother in Chardon at the moment. She's elderly, she can't control them. My one daughter is refusing to go to school weekly, and she can't do anything about it because she's in her 70s and she's not well.
Where is their father?
He is working or never around. I don't know what he does, but he's never there.
Okay. How old are they?
My oldest, who is 15, is actually still with me because she refused to go there. She did not want to go with him. And then the other 3 are 13, 11, and 6.
Okay. And before all this happened, last, July?
Yes, that's correct.
That's when the younger 3 went with him, right?
No, he only took emergency custody of the one. The one that this whole thing involved. And then the other two, he did not take custody of until like 3 weeks after I was in jail.
So what had been his contact with them prior to this?
He is very in and out. He's not consistent. His parents live half the year in Florida, and they will come back periodically when they're living down there, and he will see them when his parents are around, and he disappears as soon as they go back down to Florida. I think
How long has he been doing that?
since we have not been together in 2020.
Okay. So those three don't want to be where they are?
They do not. And he doesn't even really seem to want them because we've kind of discussed the custody. Once we saw the magistrate over at juvenile courts, and she said if we can come to an agreement with custody, that she would sign off on it. And he's okay with seeing them once a month, which I doubt he'll do, but that's what we'll
He's
have in
okay
paper.
with what?
He's okay with only seeing them once a month, like 1 weekend a month, and then I take them the rest of the time. But I doubt that'll last very long, but it's what will be on paper through the courts.
Well, that's your hope or expectation in March?
Yeah.
March what?
You know, I want to say it's the 11th. I don't know. I was going to actually go over there because I got to pick up some paperwork so that we can work out a schedule.
How come you don't know that date?
We were just there, and I don't know. I didn't have the paperwork in front of me.
Okay, their misery is because of your actions.
Yes.
Not because of his actions.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of that. I know. But I went there like a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't going to miss that.
Do you have a drug problem right now?
Right now, no. No.
When did the drug problem stop?
I guess when you put me in jail.
Why were you using cocaine while this case was going on?
We were in the middle of moving, and I have a hard time with motivation when it comes to big things, and like things that are just seem like too much. I get overwhelmed very easily, and I don't know. It's not an excuse, but I just thought that maybe that would help. I don't know.
Well, you say you quit heroin, what, 4.5 years ago?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Why did you quit heroin?
Because I was put in jail.
What?
Because I was put in jail and I didn't want to lose my kids.
Okay, and those were the child endangering charges were directly related to that?
Yes,
The previous ones?
yes.
How did you stop using heroin?
I experienced a long time of sobriety, and I realized that I did not want to live like that anymore. The day-to-day struggles, trying to obtain heroin and get money for it, and I didn't want to live like that anymore.
So when did you start in on the cocaine?
It was probably in September when we moved. It was end of August, beginning of September. And it wasn't...
25?
What's that?
Of 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't a very consistent use. I don't know why I thought it helped me, because...
What led to your decision, and I'm going to assume for the purposes of this conversation that you're being honest with me.
Yes.
Okay. Which drug addicts usually are dishonest.
I understand that, yes.
And manipulative, right?
Yeah.
So assuming that you're being honest with me, why did you, after 4 years of not using drugs, what led to the decision to take the cocaine the first time?
Because I was hanging out with somebody that had it.
Who?
What's that?
Who?
A friend of mine that works at a bar in Wickliffe.
Which bar?
It was Kate's Bar.
Ah,
Yeah,
Kate's
sure.
Bar.
Yeah.
It always comes back to Kate's Bar and Giovanni's. Who was that? Who was your friend?
My friend Brandy,
Brandy?
yes,
Bartender at Kate's Bar?
yes.
Why were you hanging around Brandy at Kate's Bar?
Because I hadn't seen her in a really long time. And she texted me one day and we hung out and that was it.
Okay. Were you drinking at the bar?
A little bit, yes.
What made you think that was a good idea since you're a drug addict?
Because I've drank occasionally and I've been okay with that. I mean, up until making that decision, I can have a few beers and be fine and not need anything the next day, but after doing that, it probably is a different reason why I can't drink. Not necessarily that I'll become addicted to drinking, but it does lead to bad decisions for sure.
Okay. So that was in September,
Yes.
and then when's the next time you used it?
I don't know, but the last time I used it was the weekend before I came here for court.
Okay. Well, how many times did you use it in between September and the last time you were here?
Between September and the last time I was here, it was probably maybe 5 times. It wasn't many times.
Did you realize in September when you did it the first time, did you realize that that was a really stupid and horrible decision?
At that moment, no, I did not.
Why not?
Because I felt like I said, we were in the middle of moving, and I just felt like it helped me, and I don't know, but
How did it help you when you were moving?
it gave me a little more energy.
I know, but you were sitting in a bar using it.
Well, that's when the idea came about to use for moving. Because
So
I
did you
used
use
that
it
night at the
that
bar.
day you were at the bar?
What's that?
Did you use it the day you were at the bar?
Yes, I did.
So Brittany's dealing drugs out of the bar?
What's that?
Brittany's dealing drugs out of the bar?
No, but she just had some.
All right. Where did you get it the other 5 times?
There is a guy in Cleveland off of Wayside. I don't know his actual name. I think he goes by Ace.
Ace. That's not Ace from Detroit, is it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, these guys don't give you much information
How
about
did you
them
manage to find Ace?
from a long time ago.
Well, where's Wayside?
It's off of Euclid.
Where?
Off of Euclid Avenue.
Off of Euclid. Where? Around where?
Right into Cleveland, like right when you get into Cleveland. It's
Okay.
a couple streets down.
So how long had it been since you bought anything from Ace?
A long time, years.
Which was what? Heroin?
Yeah.
So how is it that 4 or 5 years later, you were able to contact Ace?
Because I still had that number in my head.
In your head?
Yep. I dialed it every day for years.
So Ace kind of fanned out in cocaine with
I
heroin?
mean, they usually have everything.
Why did you keep going back?
For the cocaine,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a few times, I don't know, because I would have big projects like moving a U-Haul storage unit or moving, it wasn't very many times, it was a few times. It was usually when I came back up here for
Well,
something.
we're talking about you test positive. In November, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so between sometime in September and November, so a period of 2 months, you used at least 6 times, right?
Probably, yeah.
6, 7 times, at least 7 times. So it's more than once a month that you indicated to the evaluator, right?
No, I wouldn't say that. Well, yeah, I guess because it was in between such a
It's
short
7
period of time,
times
maybe.
in 2 months, at a minimum, 7 times in 2 months, right?
Probably a handful of times, yeah, could be.
I'm just going on based on what you're telling me. You told me initially November and then 5 other times.
Well, initially it was September, and then,
I know.
yeah, probably 6 times.
Okay. So the last time you used was in November?
Yes, that's correct.
Why haven't you used since then?
Because I want to prove that I can do this for myself and for my kids and to the court, that I can be out and maintain sobriety, because I want this. I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to go down that path again. I really don't.
I would imagine you don't.
Because it's hell. It's literal hell.
Doesn't seem like a good time.
It's not.
So this move down to Marietta has caused you some anxiety to the point you feel overwhelmed with things, right?
I do suffer from ADHD, and I was refusing to take any Adderall or anything like that for a really long time, and I don't want to.
Well, that's a focus issue, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
And
so this overwhelming issue, do you have some sort of mental health diagnosis that
I have
causes
been
you to
diagnosed with
become-
ADHD, which, yes, it presents as, for a lot of people, that you get overwhelmed by big tasks, and it's hard to start, and procrastination and things like that.
When were you diagnosed with that?
I think it was 2019. It was when I was at Laurelwood. The psychiatrist that I talked to there diagnosed me with ADHD.
All right. And you were at Laurelwood for the heroin stuff,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
Okay, so were you prescribed medication at that point?
She prescribed me Adderall for a short period of time while I was doing IOP there, and then aftercare. And then after, she was unable to prescribe me that, and I was...
Why?
Because she was no longer my doctor.
Okay,
If
then-
I wasn't doing IOP or aftercare there, I couldn't.
Okay, so did you go to another doctor then?
It was hard to... No, actually I didn't. I relapsed. And it's hard to find somebody else that might... And I don't necessarily even want to be prescribed Adderall, to be totally honest. But I have not done much therapy when it comes to that issue.
Why not?
I don't know.
Well, you didn't want to, right?
Maybe. It's not that I didn't necessarily want to. I had a lot on my plate at the time. I have a daughter that has major behavioral and mental illness issues, and a lot of my time has been spent dealing with her.
How do you deal with her?
I've had to take her to therapy.
What are you trying to accomplish?
With her,
Yeah.
I just want her to be happy. She's never seemed happy.
All right. So you think it's important to pursue evaluation treatment for you?
I just don't put myself first.
Okay, now part of her unhappiness is probably
It probably
because of
is
this
my
shit
fault.
going on, right?
I know. I'm aware.
Okay.
Yeah.
So until you cure that, you're not making yourself happy, you're not making anybody else happy in your life.
I've been working on that. I have.
What is this Spiro place you went to?
They do drug and alcohol treatment. I've been going there once a week. They do have IOP.
They concluded you don't need any further treatment?
That's what they said, and I told them, but I've been going there every week, because the first woman I talked to said, she said she'd set up a drug and alcohol screen and an appointment with their doctor there, and she said that would probably be it, because she didn't feel that I had a problem.
Well, did she feel that you didn't have a problem based on what you were telling her?
Yes, that's correct.
So you weren't being truthful with her?
No, I was being truthful with her. I told her it was a couple times.
I don't know how you could, so did you tell her what you told me?
Yes, and I was, to be totally honest, I was surprised, and I have talked to the doctors since then, and I've asked them about IOP. They said that they have it, so I can attend IOP.
How could they conclude that? They don't seem, if that's all accurate, they don't seem like they're very good at what they do. Not that that matters, because they could be the best at what they do, and if you don't put any effort into it, it doesn't gonna matter.
No,
So, when's the last time you had a mental health evaluation?
probably, I mean, I don't know if they would have considered that a mental health evaluation when I went there. I'm not really sure. They asked me a bunch of questions, but it's, I mean, before that, it's been a while.
When are you, how long are you gonna be living in Marietta?
That's gonna be my permanent residence.
Are you working right now?
I actually, I just had a job interview with a company for sales, and they, it's a remote position, and I'm supposed to hear back from them sometime today, and she already told me that I'd probably, if they do hire me, I would start training on Monday.
What kind of, where, what kind of company?
It's called The Weed Man. It's like a lawn thing, and it would just be remote. They're a company that does yard work, or not yard work, but kind of like fertilizing and weed control, and they do that across the country.
You strike me as somebody who's come here, and the goal, once you got here, is to get out of here with as little disruption in your life as possible. I sensed that through your evaluation and your statements. If that's your goal, you may temporarily accomplish that goal, but in the long run, you're going to fail, because I'm not sure you're interested in addressing your situation the way it needs to be addressed.
I want to do whatever I need to do to avoid any sort of legal issues. I want to be able to take care of my kids. I want to do...
So whatever, when you say whatever you need to do, what exactly is that?
Any treatment that I need to do. I mean, I'm willing to do IOP. I know that I can do this. I've been sober from heroin for 4.5 years, it was hard, very hard in the beginning.
You know, when you bought that, or when you got that cocaine from Brittany, and when you bought it from Ace, did you get some sort of written guarantee about what you were getting?
No,
And how did you know what you were getting?
I didn't.
How did you know there wasn't heroin in it?
I didn't know
How
that.
did you know there wasn't fentanyl in it?
I did not know that.
Okay, but you did it anyway.
I guess it never really crossed my mind, but yeah, I did it.
See, to me, somebody that was hooked on heroin for a long time, which meant fentanyl, essentially,
Yeah,
would, after they stop using it for 4.5 years, that would be the first thing that crosses their mind. But that was a situation of you putting yourself before anybody else, namely your kids.
You're right.
And you doing what exactly you wanted to do, consequences be damned. That's what concerns me about you. Now, could be I'm reading you wrong, I don't know.
I think you are. I mean, because I know I can do this.
Well, time will tell. Because in the long run, it doesn't matter if I'm reading you right or wrong. Okay, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And it's gonna be either right or it's gonna be wrong, so. Anything else you wanna say?
At this time, no.
Simile?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's clear that the defendant hasn't taken responsibility in this case. She's not been honest, she's not been accountable. She's minimized her behavior, both with her drug use and what happened in this case. She said that she was on autopilot and this was an honest mistake, but she left her 10-year-old daughter in a public place late at night. It wasn't a brief oversight. This was a serious, serious lapse in parental judgment that left her daughter at risk. Her daughter was crying hysterically, scared. She came out of that restaurant. Her mom was gone. And the defendant's story lacked any credibility. She said, I was on autopilot, I just picked up this order, I delivered it, and I went home. But the flock cameras paint a different picture. She was at Maple Grove and State Route 91 in Willoughby at 10:41. At 10:45 p.m., Willoughby Police Department is dispatched. At 10:54, she's at the Willoughby Hills Towers, presumably making her delivery. And again at 10:59, she's back at Maple Grove Road and State Route 91. There's no flock hits for 37 minutes, and then she shows up in Menor. And she doesn't call the Willoughby police until 11:58 p.m., over an hour after she's left her child. And this isn't the first time that she's endangered her children, as the court is aware. She says she's going to do anything for her kids, but her behavior, her repeated behavior, suggests otherwise. She continues to use drugs, and she continues to endanger her children. She said that she had a drug and alcohol assessment, and they didn't think she needed any treatment. Again, minimizing her drug use and her behavior. Her prior convictions have represented multiple opportunities for intervention and for her to change her behavior, and she still hasn't done it. 2019, she overdosed in front of her kids. 2020, she left her 4 children in the car for over an hour while she was inside BioLife. 2021, again, she overdosed in front of her kids, and the police found syringes that were readily accessible to her children. And in 2023, a neighbor found her 3-year-old son walking in the middle of the road, a half-mile away from her home, with a diaper so full it was hanging off of him and hanging on the ground. And then again, 2025, she leaves her daughter. She somehow escaped any real accountability for any of these charges. They were all pled down to either misdemeanor child endangering or a criminal trespass charge. And she continues to do these things to her children. So the state is asking the court to impose a sentence in this case that sends a message to the defendant. Enough is enough. Her kids deserve better. For that reason, the state is asking the court impose community control sanctions with significant jail time. Thank you.
All right. Why don't you have a license?
I just haven't had the money to do everything I need to do to get it back.
What do you need to do to get it back?
Well, at this point, since they changed some law, I can now go and pay my fine through the BMV, and I got to take a driver's test and also get an SR22
Okay, when are you gonna do that?
as soon as I can.
Okay. What were you doing, hanging around 91 in Maple Grove?
I was doing DoorDash deliveries.
Okay, well, if there's these flock cameras all over the place, why did it not register anything for 37 minutes when you were in that area?
I don't know.
Were you hanging around the Skylight Inn, maybe?
No, absolutely not,
Why not?
because I've never been there before and I don't know anybody there.
You know what that place is?
I do, actually, yeah.
How do you know that?
Just from, I knew a guy that I used to work with. He divorced his wife, and he was living there for a while. I've never been there, though.
Well, it's a big drug den is what it is. Makes me think maybe you were hanging around the Skylar Dam.
I was not. I was doing deliveries.
Okay. Because it didn't register with you that your 10-year-old was no longer in the car for quite a period of time.
I was doing DoorDash deliveries.
I know you were.
Yeah.
I know you were.
I was not at the Skylight Inn.
All right, I reviewed the pre-sentence report and the evaluation, and I have considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. I've listened to Ms. Hudson and counsel. And having considered all the provisions of the applicable statutes in this case, I'm going to place you on community control for a period of 4 years. You're going to serve 89 days in the jail with credit for 59. You have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're going to complete an intensive outpatient drug and alcohol program and follow recommendations. You're going to obtain a mental health evaluation and follow all recommendations. You're to see only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for prescription medication. Any medication that is prescribed, you're to take only as prescribed. You're going to sign releases so probation can get your records. You're going to attend at least 2 AA or NA meetings per week and obtain a sponsor. You're going to obtain full employment, get a valid driver's license, and pay the cost and supervision fees in this case. Do you understand the terms?
Yes.
Mr. Tompkins, any other terms you think are applicable?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Just with the probation, is it going to stay here or do we transfer?
And I'm getting there. Any question about the terms?
So am I doing more jail time then?
Yeah.
Today? No.
All right, if you violate the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, then you face potentially 18 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes.
Do you live in the city of Marietta?
Yes.
What county is that?
Washington.
All right, we're going to transfer this to supervision of Washington County. But I want to make sure, Mr. Tompkins, that we're keeping tabs on this rather than just some half-assed monthly report or whatever they do. Because I want to know if she's actually doing what needs to be done so that she keeps coming in and out of court. Anything further, Ms. Himmeline?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith?
This time, Your Honor.
So I will say this for Judge O'Donnell. He gets a good amount of swear words on the record. Hey, thanks for watching this clip from TCF Live. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can join us weekdays live, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, right here on this channel.